Hello, good morning. It's the Breakfast Express show on MITV. Plus, the plus is always there. You know, without that plus, it makes a whole world of difference. Okay, so yes, MITV Plus, and I'd like to say welcome, welcome, welcome to you who's ready to watch the show. To you who's always calling. Your contributions make a whole world of difference, and so we want to say at this moment that we do really appreciate the calls. And Mrs. Balogun held me down yesterday. Mrs. Balogun, it was good to have a woman call and the woman before. And, you know, each time the calls come, we feel so happy. We know that people are watching, but we'd like for us to minimize the time we spend on, just go straight to the point so that, we can have time to talk also. Welcome again to the program. So much is happening. It's better to, not to let the cat out of the bag for those who don't already know. Yeah, my name is Tom Adirele, and of course I have with me Okpeyemi Akiode. He's sitting right here with me. If you don't pronounce that name twice, then it's not the same person. Perhaps it's someone else. I'm excited and delighted to always have him beside me on the breakfast show. Welcome, Okpeyemi Akiode.
Well, it's always a pleasure to do this review, and there's a way Red comes out super good on people, and this had not been an exception. So, I'm sure that the people understand the end of that compliment. You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
And I think the conversation around the school graduation party, whipped a lot of emotions yesterday. And I loved
serious.
it. In fact, I'm sure that if the program had extended beyond our time yesterday, would have had calls upon calls. And I won't be surprised, though, if people still make reference to that yesterday conversation when they call in today. But I think that's the beauty of it, are things that affect the society, and we give them the platform to vent it, and most times to also, put the record straight. Oh, we're in business, we are not a charity organization, we're in this, we're in that. And I'm glad we're also able to put them that moderation is the key. You have to be flexible to the environment that you operate. But hey, it's always a pleasure. It's a Thursday, one day to weekend. I'm sure you know what that means. And of course, it's always a pleasure to have you join us. Loads of stories on the headlines for us today. Stay with us.
All right, we'll take our usual break this morning, and when we return, there's so much more from where this intro has come. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yes.
More or less. You're in agreement, more or less. So, for me, when I read that, I paused before I threw that question to you because it just told me something. These people are constantly watching Nigeria. And look, for them to make this statement, for Trump himself, President Donald Trump, to make this statement means that
intel.
Exactly.
It's not from a place of excitement.
Exactly.
They have valid intel.
Exactly. And let's say, listen, on this table, we are very optimistic. We tell it as it is. Truth be told, just as Okwe said, I just want to rub it in a little to say, yes, well done to the leadership of this country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seems to be doing many more things right in the sight of the people. And that's what we've always said. It's about how the people view what you're doing. So you may be doing so much in your opinion, but how does it affect the people positively is what's more important, right? Now, this one thing is affecting the people positively that, okay, things are being done. It's no longer a very hopeless situation. If, for example, someone gets kidnapped today, that person is going to go with the hope that something will happen. Yes, I could be rescued. It won't be a hopeless thing. It won't be like I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? It may eventually turn out, like that, but there will be some sort of hope. And I think that's a step in the right direction. And I must say kudos to our president and the entire team. Okay, police top list as ICPC uncovers 908 ghost workers. I'm going to leave that for you to say something. This issue of ghost workers, we haven't just started it.
I'm not surprised.
In Nigeria.
I'm not surprised.
It's been on for a long time.
And this is not me disrespecting the institution of the Nigerian police. But there are a lot of things that will make you validate this story, in the sense that you always wonder when you see certain videos and then you see certain police officers, how shabbily dressed they are. Some of them drunk with guns. Some of them are caught doing unimaginable things. You look at percentage of, or you look at number of policemen attached to VIPs, and then you see some of them hanging around the major expressways across the country, looking to escort trucks carrying loads into major city centers. Then you ask yourself again, are these people still members of the Nigerian police force? You see their uniform, you see the way they are dressed, you see, and then you're asking yourself that, do these people report to the station in the morning? Do they report to duty? Do they sign in their rifles? Do they sign in their guns, and then they come to the post? You also look at, there are times I've had to question or challenge a couple of policemen, politely though, and I'm like, officer, you can't be wearing a uniform and be wearing a slippers. You can't be wearing a uniform and be wearing this. You can't be wearing police uniform and then your shirt is open up to like the third or the fourth button. I mean, you look at how they are dressed and you're like, are these people still enrolled in the Nigerian police? I'm not disregarding ICPC's job, but I think if they do further investigation, they'll find out that the percentage that they have that is more from the police, they can still get so much more from them. You ask yourself that some of these officers, they were reportedly dismissed. Were they really removed from the payroll, or they were just dismissed? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Most of these people,
the process completed?
Exactly, was it completed?
The administrative process.
So if you say they are ghost workers, that means they are not supposed to be benefiting from the system, but they are still on the payroll. So it's almost like the process is either it's not completed, or they completed the process and then they found a way to put them back in the process. It just tells you, if an institution that is supposed to be a law enforcement institution is caught in this web, in this kind of conversation.
This depth of corruption.
Do you know what ghost worker means?
It's really deep.
That means you're supposed to be out of the system. One, to create space for people to come into the system. Two, to also lighten up the wage bill that the system is packing up every day. So you are simply benefiting from a system that you are not contributing to. That's what a ghost worker is.
Yep. And then when you look at the way you described, some policemen, when you put them on the one hand and look at officers like Hundeyin, Benjamin Hundeyin. I remember when one of the times he came to the studio, he was our guest on the show, and he came with his orderly. I mean, I just felt like becoming a police officer. When you see people like that and put them side by side, you now wonder what exactly is going on, because the Yorubas say it is the horse in front
that the one
at the back would follow. You understand? So when you see officers properly dressed, neatly dressed, very proud of their profession and what they do, and then you see the ones that Okpe described, because I'm not gonna go back to talk about those ones, you start to wonder what exactly is going on.
Have you been to the police barracks?
Of
if
course
you've been to the police barracks and you see the way police officers, even when they're on mufti, I mean, when they are casual, they're not wearing the uniform, but they're still wearing the police outfit. You would see how good looking, how clean, how properly shaved, how properly dressed they are. They flip it to another side of the city. And then you see police officers sitting in one corner, drinking in the morning, taking paraga. You see a police officer speak to you, and then you see how their mouth is smelling in the morning. You ask yourself again, are these ones really a part of the system that is supposed to go through a reformation? Do you understand? So thank you very much to the ICPC, but more work needs to be done, because each time I'm coming to work or I'm going home, I'm going out, and then I see from this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the amount of police officers that are sitting on the guardrails there, looking for trucks going into the city so that they will escort the city, and then when police stop them, they will say, "Expiry the call," so they will not pay. Do you understand? I'm wondering, are these ones not supposed to be on duty? If you are saying the Nigerian police, the Nigerian system is, the Nigerian citizens are under-policed. If you say the Nigerian police, we don't have up to 400,000 policemen in this country, too. And out of that 400,000, more than 30 or 40% of them are attached to VIPs. You will see a senator with 2-3 police officers. You will see, I don't even want to start calling names. You see these people, you see them, you see the number of police officers they have they have with them. You see people that are not even politically exposed people, individuals, celebrities, all these footballers, artists. You see them moving with loads. And I'm always asking that, those of us that pay tax, those of us that are remaining, who are the people policing us? If almost 40% of the entire police structure are attached to VIPs, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave that presidential order that all the police men attached to VIP should be withdrawn, and then they should write letter to the presidency, and then they will forward it to the NSCDC to provide. That presidential order took effect for a few weeks or months. Everything has gone back to normal. Everywhere you turn to now, there are policemen carrying bags for the wives of politicians. There are policemen picking monies at parties. That is not supposed to be so.
Well, Nigeria is a peculiar nation, and certain things that happen in Nigeria just happen out of sheer recklessness. I didn't want to say greed. Recklessness. You know why I agree with you that it is recklessness? Because these same people go out of this country and see what obtains in various countries. And guess what? They never come back to practicalize what they've seen. But when they're outside there, they conform. They behave the way they should be, the way they should behave. The way the country has dictated that its citizens should behave. They are able to fall in line. But once they come back here, it is believed that in Nigeria, anything can go.
Anyhow,
it doesn't matter. And so, it's a country that they see does not enforce the law. And that's why this kind of things happen. Good morning. We have our first caller on the line. What's your name, sir, and where are you calling from?
Mr. Alan, what is my name? Please, we can't hear you on TV. We can't hear you. It's not audible.
Okay.
Adjust your speaker. It's not audible. We are not hearing you at all.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's.
I'm sure the guys will work on that. I'm not
I
sure if
hope
it's from
our
our
microphones are on.
Okay. Okay, I'm sure they'll work on that.
Okay, thank you for that.
Maybe you should take a break while they fix
contribution.
that.
Yes, I think we will take a break right now, and when we return, I'm sure everything will be back to normal. So welcome back. Yes, we had to take that break because for us, your feedback is very important. We had to take the break because Mr. Olanrewaju called to say that he couldn't hear us, but we've done all the necessary checks, and for us, everything is okay. So perhaps Mr. Olanrewaju,
maybe needs to put some
maybe you need to
volume
on your
device.
audio set. Otherwise, you can just join us on Facebook or YouTube right now. I mean, we're running live. Okay, so much for the police. We hope that IGP Disu knows that he has a huge task ahead of him, and we pray that God will grant him the strength to go through it all. Okay, so still on the Punch newspaper, Zenith Bank named Africa's best bank and Nigeria's best bank at the 2026 Euro Money Awards for Excellence. Well, congratulations to Zenith Bank. They always say that the reward for hard work is more work. So this is a call, to diligence, passion, dedication. Of course, generally more work, and more customer relations. All right, delayed justice, crowded cells, over 80,000 rot in Nigerian prisons. We talked about this just yesterday, that the prisons are overcrowded. overcrowded, and they need to, people, I think, we need to revisit some of these cases, see how, they can either, convict them, or, discharge them, fine them, or whatever. But, we need to do a revisit to the Nigerian prisons,
No,
because before we know it, there'll be another jailbreak. When there are too many people, I mean, there will be another jailbreak. We've
sure.
had a couple of jailbreaks, and some of the jailbreaks, some of the prisoners were never
They were never
found.
recaptured.
They were never found, and they roam the streets. Well, in our opinion, they still roam the streets. Well, perhaps they've gone to commit crimes and they're back in prison. But
We
whatever
hope
the
so.
case, pardon,
We hope so.
we hope so. But even at that, how many of them would be back in prison, really? So we want to avoid a jailbreak. And you can have a breakout, and some of these things could start from the prison and spread, into the communities and all of that. So we want to avoid
I think
this.
a lot of work needs to be done with our prison system. At the moment, we have about 80,812 inmates scattered across the Nigerian correctional facilities. And out of those 80,000, I think about 59,000 of them are awaiting trial. So that's about 64% of our entire, inmates, which is really disturbing. If you have 80,000 and almost 60,000 of them are waiting trial, and some of them are for offenses that are bailable, offenses that carries fines, offenses that only demand for our community service, I think a lot needs to be done.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. This is one call that I always dread. Always dread. I always dread. Hello? Hello?
Good morning, my sister.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is calling from Buhari.
Oh, welcome to the show. Well, what's your contribution this morning, and how are you?
Yeah, my sister, I am very cool. My sister, what I want to tell you people, please, our system in Nigeria is not working. Our system is not working at all compared to other countries. And we are taking example from other countries. And look at the way our system has been corrupt. And where this problem is coming from is from the top. Because when the leaders are not sincere, they are not showing the youth of Nigeria the way forward. We are not seeing good things coming out from them. Do you know that they say a child learns from his father? Whatever we are seeing in Nigeria, we are learning it from our father. That is why I'm saying, what are we learning from our leaders? The so-called the people that are making law in this country, what are they teaching the people of this country, like National Assembly? What are they showing us? Look at the way things are going wrong, and nobody's doing anything. We are not talking of the insecurity in Nigeria. Look at the way the police killing in Nigeria. It's like killing become a good thing to us. We kill and we don't value life. Foreigners, they value their people, but our leaders, they don't value us. Look at what is happening in South Africa. Our leaders get quiet. We are not talking of our own, because when you see the way things are going in your country, other countries will turn against you people because they see that our leaders are not ready for us. They're not ready for his people. My sister, until the whole of this country, until the poor masses come together and say this thing our leaders are doing is very, very unacceptable. You are the people making law, and the law you are making is not working. How can you rehabilitate somebody who takes life? You rehabilitate them into military. How would that stop? How will it stop? We are crying of insecurity in Nigeria. Insecurity, every day we are crying. And you people are there. Somebody recruit, rehabilitate, bandits, somebody that takes life into military. And you people did not kick against it. And you are the people making law. You embrace it. It's a very long way for us to people sponsoring bandits, and you people know them because these people are not making call with that. At times I shed tears. People make call, they collect ransom, they pay ransom. How do they manage to get back to pay ransom? You are using SIM card to make call. You are using phone to make picture. And these things are going on in Nigeria. Our government keep quiet, saying we are top of the situation. How long? When people die, finish. My sister, we need to change the way we are behaving. And the things come from the top. That is why I said when the head is bad, the whole of your system is bad. When the leaders are not leading well, they are not showing good example to the poor masses of this country, they will follow that in their footsteps. Because when your father is doing wrong, how will the children change when their father is doing wrong? When your father is doing the right thing, the children will change. God bless you and thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. That's exactly what we talked about. I gave an illustration by saying it is the horse in front that the one behind will watch. You know, it's the same steps that one will take. So you know, it is what our leaders do that that the people, their subordinates, will do, and then the people will also do. But the strange thing, like you just buttressed my point, that it's not as if they don't know the right thing to do. They know the right thing to do, but the system just allows a lot of rot, allows a lot of corruption, and allows a lot of, there's a word that Okwe used.
Anyhowness.
Anyhowness and recklessness, that's the word. A lot of recklessness. The system allows it until this system is cleansed and sanitized. I was thinking about something when he said it's time the people react. And I'm in my mind, how? You are on a call expressing yourself. The much that you can do is this. This is all of what you can really do. If you go on the streets and hold a megaphone or microphone and start to say these things that you're saying, people will just walk past you as if you don't know what you're doing. So how do we get, you know, how do people express themselves other than the way we're doing it? The next thing, you know, is to arrange a protest, a peaceful protest. Now, a peaceful protest can be met with violence. It can go out of hands. It can be hijacked by hoodlums and all of that. So really and truly, as much as we say it all the time, that the people need to put a stop to what our leaders are doing. In what capacity, in what way? How do we do it? That's the problem. Do we sign a petition online? What effect is that going to have? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because people are disgruntled. People, look at this man speaking from the depth of his heart. And you can see that he's not happy with the system, with our leaders. But this is really the much he can do. All of it is just contained in this one call.
I think I always tell people too, as much as we have our reservation about our electoral process in this country, I always say is that, see, whether we like it or not, there can't be any blood revolution in this country. The only revolution we're going to have in this country is continuing to try and hope that our electoral system would improve so that people that are the choices of the people will get into political offices, not people that the courts gave mandate, not somebody that came forth in an election and by technical ground it was sworn in as the governor of the state. Let's take the call.
Hello, good morning.
Okay. I'm sure that the guys from the end, and we're going to have to do something about this.
We have to do something about this phone call.
It's been a constant menace all week. I'm sure they will handle that as quick as possible. So I think what I'm saying is that we could have doubt around our elections, but that is still the most realistic way of fixing things in this country. The presidential election is 177 days away today. And the question I'm asking a lot of people is that for the past month, we have been begging, we have been pleading, we have been appealing to you to go and register and get your PVC. Oh, somebody will say, the one we have registered before, they did not give us how many of the PVC, this one. But people are still registering and people are collecting their PVCs. A colleague of mine I think a month ago, went to the INEC office in Yaba, did our registration, and they have sent our email that our PVC is ready for collection. So I think a lot of us need to understand that if we have a voting population of 100 million and less than 30 million of them are coming to vote, the president of this country is presiding over a population of over 200 million with a winning margin of with a winning number of less than 10 million. The president had less than 9 million votes in the last election. The second had 6.8, the third had 6.2, the fourth had less than 2 million. If you put all of those together, INEC said we have almost 100 million eligible voters, but less than 30 million people came to vote. Some of us on election day, because we think that our vote does not count. Oh, we'll go and play. We'll go and spend time with our family. We drink on election day. We disenfranchise ourselves deliberately. Then we come out to say that the government has not done enough. It is only via the balance that we can bring the needed change in this country, not from anywhere else.
Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, sir. Where are you calling from and what's your name?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Shanu. I'm coming from Ekwe.
How are you today, Mr. Shanu?
I'm good.
All right, you want to make your contribution?
Yes, please. I'm saying the problem is our leader. Problem is just problem is you and I. It's you and I. Until we change our ways, Nigeria will remain. Nigerians are all over the world now because of behaviors. We want to pay this paid. On election day, a lot of us will come out. Those people that have voter cards, not, and they will vote for who they are directed to vote for. How you collect money? You collected so much from somebody, and you expect that person to not recover that money. Not possible. Until we change our ways. It's not our leaders that are kidnapping. It's not our leaders that are harboring people that are kidnapping. Can you imagine somebody organizing his own kidnap because he wanted to extort money from his people? That is not our leaders' problem. The people get the leaders they deserve. That's what I believe. And before now, I used to think we have problem with the leadership problem. But after a while, I've been able to see that problem is we Nigerians. We believe we are too selfish. Nobody wants to follow the rules. I'm going to a place, it's better for me to take one way. In the process, I ask them how. The Nigerians prefer to take one way just to say it's shortcut. Because we start correcting ourselves. In my office, you want to get it, but you want to proceed a movement. Me being an admin officer, we collect money from you. That's corruption. That's part of the problem. Medical staff will not attend to because do not use that to do it when you get to an hospital. It's an issue. Somebody inside the generator prefer to the gasoline is supposed to put in the generator because he wants to use the other half or sell the other half. It's corruption. It's within us. We need the people to change. The system can change.
Thank you very much for your very great and wonderful contribution.
We need the people to change because before the system can change because the people are the system.
And what are they that? If we don't change, it will be any leader to make any real impact.
True.
If people are attending one by one.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. Okay, something for us to discuss, okay? Now, from his contribution, this is a chicken and egg situation. Which one comes first? Is it the chicken that comes first, or is it the egg that comes first? If you say it is the chicken that comes first, how did the chicken come? And if you say it's the egg that comes first,
what laid the egg?
What laid the egg? Okay, so it could be very confusing. Yes, the system is bad. That's a statement of fact, and that's the constant K in this matter. But who should do a cleansing first? The people may be bad, they may be corrupt, they may be whatever name we want to call it, because our leaders have allowed them to do so, because they themselves, the Bible says, he who is not guilty, may he cast the first stone. So you want to, to look at it from that angle, or you want to look at it from Mr. Shanu's angle. Which of the angles do you want to look at it from? The constant thing here is that the system is corrupt. But guess what? The people don't have the kind of power to enforce certain laws and uphold them. The power that the people have is to ensure that they do what they're supposed to do to help the system normalize. But on the other divide, the leaders, if they themselves do that cleansing within themselves, then they can say, from now on, anybody who takes the one way is going to be sentenced to life imprisonment. Okay? And it's not just about saying it. It's about having enough, men to enforce the law. So it's such a difficult thing because, yes, Mr. Shanu, you're right. We say this on the table every day, that we have a people's, but we said it yesterday, that the people themselves have a lot.
We still said it today.
We still said it
the
today.
anyhowness of Nigeria.
Of Nigerians, you see? So it's a combination of everything. Which one comes first? Is it the leaders need to change first? The people need to change first? Which one would affect the system faster?
Okay, so there are two sides to this conversation, the chicken and the egg. But at the end of the day, there's an existence of both. So that means two truths can coexist.
Of course.
Good. If we say system, the systems don't operate themselves.
On their own.
The systems don't operate in isolation of the people.
Of the people.
The systems don't run on autopilot. People are the ones carrying files at the secretariat.
Yeah.
People are the ones collecting these bribes. People are the ones selling slots on hospital beds in hospitals. People are the ones prioritizing parents that they have children that their parents are wealthy, and the pupils and the students that their parents are not wealthy. People are the ones collecting bribes. People are the ones doing this one. People are the ones aiding and abetting these people. People are the ones serving as middlemen, as speakers, as fraudsters. So when they said, it's just like when they say a political party, somebody will say, oh, APC is bad. APC is not bad. APC is just a structure. APC does not exist without the people operating the APC. That's why I tell people that it is not the system of government that is the problem. It is the people administering that system of government that is the problem. A political party is not the problem. It is the people administering that political party that is the problem. The system is not the problem. It is the people managing the system that is the problem. So the people involves the leaders and the followers. That's why I said this conversation has two ends. The leaders are responding to what the followers are giving. The followers are taking a cue from the leadership that the leaders are providing, good or bad. See, the truth is, we cannot look at the entire political system in Nigeria and say all the politicians are bad. Maybe they are evil, they are lesser evil. They are the devil and they are the deep blue sea. Do you understand? There are still some politicians that can say, oh, this one is working, and maybe he's also chopping. That's why they call it workshop. Somebody was telling me a couple, now when you work, you go chop now. That's why they call it workshop. So somebody was talking about Rep Jimmy Benson. I think about 2 weeks ago, I was in a forum, and it was like, oh, it's one of, and then I went back to check a rep is from, I think, Ikorodu Federal Constituency or something. And then I was like, okay, how come nobody is even looking at some of the things that these reps have been doing over time? Do you understand? So we have people that we can hold up and say, oh, this person is not perfect, but this person is giving something that looks like what he has been sent to do, whether as a lawmaker or as an executive member of the government. But some of us are here too. When we see these politicians, somebody asked a question that bad leaders or bad followers. And I said we have a problem of bad followership. What is the percentage of the leadership structure we have in this country politically? They are less than 1% of the entire population. Put it together, governors, deputy governors, president, vice president, ministers, all of them. They are not up to 200,000. In a country of give and take about over 200 million people.
This 200 million that we keep seeing.
No, that's why I said give and take. I'm not.
I'm sure we're almost like 500 million now.
We are. This is the 20th year that we are not. We last conducted the national census.
But I hear that there's one,
hopefully,
in the pipeline.
We heard that towards the end of the administration of Muhammadu Buhari, there was a plan for that. But I think election overtook that plan. I hope President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does that, because we really need a data-driven economy in this country. But then, when you look at what the people are doing, it is not the leaders that say when rain is falling, you carry your dustbin and pour it inside the flowing water. Don't.
Yeah.
It is not the leaders that say you should pass one way, even though the leaders they also pass one way. So you cannot use one criminality to correct another criminality. Neither can you use one illegality to justify another illegality. Both of you are wrong. So if we say the leaders are not setting the good example, what are we, the followers, also doing? Do you understand? Some of us here, we've gone to register for PVC because it's a means of identification. Some of you, your polling unit is in front of your house. But because you have a mindset of our votes will not count, on election day, you will not come out and vote.
Hello? Hello? Well, continue. Okay.
All right, so that's the problem. We have leadership problem, no doubt about that. But we also have followership problem. Have you not seen where people are doing peaceful protests, though, and the same Nigerians are coming in to scatter and attack peaceful protesters?
You see, so I think a lot of it really has to do with the
leaders are Nigerians too. They are a product of the system.
Let's take it, as individuals, as individuals, let us look at who we are. You see, every time I round up this show, I say, please stand in front of a mirror
and ask yourself
and take a deep look at yourself. Who are you? What is it that you need to change? Because first of all, we need to be able to ask ourselves who we are. What is it about us that we can identify is good? What is it that we have contributed to our nuclear families? What is it we've contributed to our extended families? What values? The word is the values now. Have we contributed to our extended families, to our communities? Even in our workplaces, who are we? What are the things that we should not be doing that we are doing? What are the things that you will say to yourself are embarrassing, are disgraceful, things that you should never be found doing? Have we done a thorough self-assessment? Are we on the roads, in terrible traffic, and because, the man in front of you has decided to take the short route out one way,
you follow.
We need to take a deep look at ourselves. I will never say to my driver or to my friend or to my brother
to take
one way. Except that's the only option. There's nowhere else. Traffic has been redirected.
Exactly. If the traffic was properly redirected by the authorities, maybe a portion of the road is under renovation or repair. Is understandable.
That's understandable. Because there's nowhere else to go.
But because there is traffic, and then you just you are passing one way. You are even overspeeding, passing one way. You are even causing the owner of the way. You are telling them, go like this, go like this.
Exactly. You are now asking them to leave the road for you.
And then you have an accident, and then you kill people.
And then you
carry your phone
the only free passage has now been blocked by you.
Some of us are so funny too.
I don't know.
We're on the traffic, and then you're hearing the blaring of ambulance behind you.
And you will not just
will not give them the right of way.
That thing aches my heart.
Do you know the emergency in
in that
that
ambulance.
In Yonigogowa, they should also stay. And you know that this is an emergency. These are essential service providers.
So you see, this is what I'm saying.
Do you
I
understand?
didn't know there was
Little
somebody.
things.
I didn't realize that there was somebody else who reasoned the way I would have reasoned.
These are little
because
things.
this even happened a couple of maybe like a week ago, and I was so pained. I'm like, why can't people just
I've
leave the roads?
I've gotten out of the car to go and tell the man in front, okay, can you not hear ambulance at the back? Can you just get out of the way? Just get out of the way.
It's so
Because
painful.
These are little things that we don't pay attention to. As little as it is. And then you also look at the politicians too. There's traffic. You are a Nigerian. You are feeding on taxpayers. Then you have your rogue officers in their trucks, beating drivers, creating ways for you to pass. The same people you are supposed to serve.
To be protected.
To feel their pain.
Yeah, exactly.
And the moment they pass, they're off.
They're off.
They don't care what happens to the people at the back. Then you are beating drivers, you are hitting vehicles, you are pointing gun at people because you want to create right away for your principal. That is a public servant.
So you know what? I'm not even going to be looking at the chicken and egg situation right now. What I just think is that every Nigerian needs to do a self-assessment and honestly a mental assessment as well. Because we just keep laughing over it and trivializing it. But the truth is that a lot of Nigerians are mentally stressed and they have mental health challenges, but they don't even know. They cannot identify it on their own. So I think that at some point, perhaps the government needs to enforce a law that maybe every 1 in 2 years or 3 years, people should go and do like a mental evaluation.
A lot. You will question things that Nigerians are doing. You are driving. You are pressing phone while you are driving. Then you hit somebody. And then you are arguing that the person is wrong. And so nobody told you that, okay, but you were making call while you were driving. Then you'll be shocked that, oh, so somebody saw you while you were doing that. Little things as of observing road. So, very close to the station there's a zebra crossing.
Yep.
And I always deliberately use that zebra crossing.
To see?
And I'll make sure that I'm not running it when the light is up. Or maybe a car is on the high speed. No, I'll look at the distance of the vehicle. Then I'll walk because normally, in Senate clients, when you are walking on a zebra crossing, you are not supposed to run.
Yes, you're supposed to walk.
You are supposed to walk.
Because it's your right of way at
Somebody
that time.
had asked me before, here, that am I a zebra? That am I an animal that is walking on zebra crossing?
In Nigeria or
Here. Very close to the office here. This checkpoint this traffic light that allows are here. Just few minutes from the office here. The man was, I was like, oh God, calm down. He was like, you be animal, why you dey walk on zebra crossing? And when those people leave this country, they will not use the horn of their car till they come back to this country.
I'm telling you, you are you to use your
You
horn.
dare not run or beat the light in any other country. But because there's a lot of system that does not punish offenders in this country.
That's the thing.
People will look at the traffic lights with camera.
That's the
then
thing.
You look to the left, to the right, you are gone.
That's it. So that's where the problem is.
So it is. Yeah, we have leadership issues.
The problem is in us.
But some of us, we are the problem.
The leaders are people. They are not instruments.
They're product of the society.
They are not machines. That's what I'm saying. It's in us. Whether at the leadership level or at the followership level.
Some of us will be worse.
It's in us.
Some of us, will be worse
if we
than the
get
leaders
them.
who are criticizing.
If we
some
get
of us
them.
is because we have not gotten there yet.
Why are we even saying this? Why are we saying this? We have had a lot of people who are on this divide, on our divide, who eventually got to the other divide, the other side of the divide.
Table manners.
And then they became something else.
They start defending what they were criticizing when they were on this side.
Hello?
Yes. There's actually something. All of us don't have patience. We don't exercise patience. So it is not mentally. You understand?
We're listening.
I'm sure
You don't have to exercise patience. Patience we need. According to the traffic light, we just need to follow the traffic light. If you have patience, if it's so red, you have to stop. But some people don't have patience, they'll continue going. You understand me? So that's what I'm saying. It's not mentally. Just need to have patience. Some people need to less patience.
What's your name? What's your name? And where are you calling from? Angela from Ikeja. Okay, thank you for your contribution. All right. Well, Angela has made her point, and yes, she has a point that one should be patient, imbibe patience in into your daily life. Nigerians could be very impatient.
Very, very
Some
impatient.
Nigerians could be very, very impatient, and I agree. Yeah, but some of them is not the impatience, but it is the fact that I can do it
And
and
go
get
away
away
with
with
it.
it,
Yes.
and absolutely nothing will be done
No,
about
it is in human nature to want to commit crime, but when something reminds you that, oh, for this crime, there are consequences of this crime, you would have to check yourself. That's why there are laws, and then there are guidelines, or there are offense, there are punishment for the laws if you break them.
Yeah.
The society does not exist without laws. Neither does they exist without punishment for those laws. So they know that there are some people that want to break that law. Do you understand? So in you wanting to break the law, something in your brain will tell you that if I break this law, there will be consequences for this thing. I told you something that used to happen in Ojota. There is a pedestrian bridge. So there are Kai officials under the pedestrian bridge. Then they will look at you when you want to cross. They will not stop you from crossing. They will wait till you cross. Then they will arrest you and collect 20,000 from you. Meanwhile, the job is for you not to let people cross. What if in the process of that person crossing, the person gets hit by a car and the person dies? But instead of them to stop you from crossing, they will wait till you cross. They will not catch you. They will not collect money from you. Do you understand? So they are more of punishing people than enforcing those laws. So we have a system that needs a thorough
Overhaul.
an absolute purging of the system.
Purging.
Everybody.
Everybody, every single person, We're still doing the newspaper review. Do you
Funny enough, we are
realize?
still on one newspaper.
We haven't even taken the banner headlines. Okay, let me take the banner headlines for the Punch newspaper. Fake agency probe. ICPC team grills embattled DG inside police detention. And the writers for that story, Adeyemi quizzed for hours. Interrogation continues today. Reps to question Akume, Ribadu, Fagbemi, Disu, Accountant General today. Controversial DG gets new lawyer. Atiku tackles Tinubu over Phantom Agency controversy. Still on the Punch newspaper, Dangote resumes Naira petrol sales and hikes price by 140 Naira. Crackdown on cultists. Police arrest 3 and seize firearms in Lagos. I hear there was a cult clash in Lagos. The Ayers and the Ayes.
I'm glad that the police, quickly got on top of the situation. They did.
Yeah. Okay, so the police is working.
Wow.
We expect more, more work. All right, finally from the Punch newspaper, Ondo Speaker gets Sunday deadline to resign or face impeachment. We discussed this yesterday on the program. Okay, you want to look at what? The Guardian?
Yes, let's look at the Guardian. I'm sure that the people in Punch should be happy that we are spending so much time with them, but it's okay. At the Guardian, quite a lot of headlines, and surprisingly, we're seeing presidential candidate of political parties and the chairman of INEC as the bold picture on that banner headline, the lead story. Oil nears $100 per barrel as marketers resume petrol loading. Nigeria's solar market hits $2.4 billion as African attracts 13.5 billion renewable energy investment. Let me take that again. Nigeria's solar market hits $2.4 billion as African attracts $13.5 billion renewable energy investment. So, go on. You wanted to say something?
No, you go ahead.
So Nigerians are embracing solar now.
Now, yeah.
Not necessarily because we are embracing the renewable energy
No,
conversation.
not because of that, but because it is the alternative that we have. And that's what I was going to say. It's the alternative that we have. Pap. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from? And welcome to the show.
Your regular caller, Mr. Idosa.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Welcome. How are you today?
Good and fine to the glory of God. We believe we live in Nigeria, we live in our country, so we have to do everything possible to make sure that should be our first priority. Good Nigeria, irrespective of what we are facing through our leadership.
Yeah.
Next and foremost, I want to appeal to you. Please, I don't know, I want to be on a mobile line with your stations, just like I have with Arise TV, Channel Television, other broadcasting organization as well. But right now, I'm using disappointed there's no light and my inverter couldn't function properly for me to get across to you people, watch you on live and all. That is one the request I have to make.
Okay.
Then secondly, in respect of what we are dealing with Nigeria as a whole, there's a news going everywhere right now. Talk about our deputy speaker, what's his name again? Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who is spending or who is under his budget allies talking about 780 millions naira for churches. Come on, what kind of country are we? What kind of a country are we? 780 million. Is he coming out to defend? Is he constitutional? Is he constitutional project money? No. They are so. What I'm trying to talk about, I'm talking about the reckless spending of this administration. If I have 780 million naira across Badmi Owode alone, the road that will be constructed will be massive. It will bring development to the environment. 780 million. That's what we hear from others. We have not even heard about what is happening in Ogun State. I'm trying to make people know this is the country we are all going through. Please, let me not go into because right now I'm not able to go through the newspaper review or whatever because of what I just said earlier on. I need to get your mobile app so that I can always follow up on a daily basis. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So what do we do? Do we conclude on what we were talking about, and then the solar
Yes,
energy?
let's
Okay,
go
let's
with
quickly
that.
conclude on that. And so you see, Nigerians have they have embraced solar, just as Okwemi said, not because they're catching up with time,
No.
or it's an in thing, but it's because that's the only option right now, to ensure that you have constant power supply, because our discos have failed us. The Ministry of Power has failed us. The entire federal government has failed us. Nigerians have to generate their own power. They have to either buy
Provide their own security
diesel or petrol or whatever to run their generators, or gas. Some people are changing to gas
Yes,
right
now
now.
you're switching to
What do you call it? LNG?
LNG.
Yes, LNG. Right now. So, we have to do these things and in the same breath, they're embracing solar, and that's why we have the figures looking so good.
Because
even Abuja, our leaders, Aso Rock, have they not embraced solar? So who are we? We just said it. When you're watching your mentor or your leader, you're likely to toe the same line. So if Nigeria, our leadership in Nigeria have
if the man that promised you electricity has migrated to solar, you understand the consequences of that action.
It's not even the man that promised you, the man that is meant to
provide electricity for you.
Channel
that so much
to ensure that you get electricity as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
First off, the same man supported bringing classism into electricity
band
supply.
A, band B.
He said in a democracy.
In a democracy.
But you introduce classism into it.
Some fingers are great, greater than the other.
They said all fingers are equal, but some are more equal
than the others.
That's what they are saying. So if you don't live in certain area, you are not entitled to band A. If you live inside that one area, if you live in Ijoko, they will not even put you on band. they will generalize that the only thing you are deserve of is estimated billing. But if you live in the GRA, if you live in Ijoko, forgetting the fact that everyone, irrespective of where you stay, is a Nigerian, that has the right to get access and equal representation when it comes to national assets. The same man embraced bringing classism into electricity distribution in this country. And it's so bad that even with your band A or band W or any band you accept, there's no guarantee.
There is absolutely no guarantee. I promise you.
And then the same man left you in the conundrum of solving yourself and migrated to solar.
Okay, that's where I'm going. Okay.
Do you understand? Migrated to solar. So the question I'm asking is this: why would the solar industry not continue to boom? Over 2 billion.
And the same man abandoned his duty post.
So some of the people that are supposed to give you electricity are the ones importing these solars.
That's the same
thing. Some of the people that are supposed to give you are the ones that are the owners of these solar plants that are establishing everywhere.
Do you know that maybe they should even ban all these generators and everything? Because look, it's not going to happen. Power supply is not going to be constant because somebody is gaining something from somewhere and is, channeling this money to certain people who are supposed to be doing certain things. It's not going to work.
There was a time in this country where we were regarded as the highest importer of generating sets in the world.
Exactly.
From I Pass My Neighbor to Giant Silence and Semi-Silent. We are the #1 importer of generating sets in the world. Now, we are migrating to solar. Because the petrol and the diesel to power your generator are also be made expensive and unaffordable. So you are meant to go back to solar. So I'm trying to understand. After solar now, where are we going back to? We're going to be tapping light from the moon. Because I'm trying to understand why simple things that should make life better for the people are made more complicated every single day. So now if I cannot afford 800,000, and do you know the consequences of that? Because the demand for solar is becoming so much, the price has skyrocketed. A panel that you can actually assemble maybe 400,000, 500,000, a double panel that can serve maybe a mini flat and you get a couple of appliances, is now 1.2 million.
Yes, now it's demand now.
Because people are demanding for it.
Yes, it's the demand.
And then you still keep pumping in billions of taxpayers' monies into subsidizing the electricity.
Yeah.
And we're not getting the electricity.
We're not getting
Imagine
the electricity.
we celebrating 4,000 megawatts in a country of over 220 million people. 4,000 megawatts. In South Africa, they have over 30,000 megawatts in reserve with a population of less than 70 million people.
Honestly, it makes us look very unserious. Very, very unserious.
We're celebrating 4,000 megawatts.
And people, look, the outside world is watching us and you want them to have respect for Nigeria.
In a fragile economy like Nigeria, I'm not an economist, but my little knowledge is that in an economy like Nigeria, the small-scale businesses are the ones that can stimulate the growth that we need.
Of the economy,
the employers of 5 and 10 and 2 and 3, the welders, the fashion designers, the fabric creators, all of those people, they are the ones that can stimulate the growth of the economy. But those people's businesses are folding up every single day.
Look at your friend that you spoke about.
Yes, he has folded up his business.
He has folded up his business.
How many frozen food operators in this country can afford a solar panel that can power their freezers? But the people that are supposed to feel the pain, they migrated to solar. A friend uploaded a video of the solar panel base in Aso Rock. She was driving past that base. And then if you look, I think it's almost like 3 or 4 minutes that she was recording the solar panel in the Aso Rock. She was driving for 4 minutes. She was recording it. If you see the space it covers.
Now, let me tell you, and this is a problem that I have. You see, these people who call themselves our leaders, who are supposed to be feeling our pain, do you understand? Rather than sit in there and feel the pain so that they can know how to profess solutions, they look for the easiest way out so that they're not feeling, they're not going through what we're going through. And then that way, they, of course, they're just going to abandon you in the deep of your misery,
of your frustration,
of your unhappiness. They're just going to abandon you there because guess what? They're not feeling what you're feeling. So you will just sit there crying, complaining, shouting, getting angry, and all sorts of things. But they're just looking at you because they don't even understand what you're talking about. They're not there. You're not on the same plane. You're not on the same platform. So they're not getting it. And that's the point. That's the part that worries me a lot.
You can't make changes about what you are not feeling. If somebody says that, Oga, you know the reason why there's a little cry now? Because the weather is cold. It's raining.
It's cool. It's cool.
Let us switch over to the other side. You will see how the demand for solar. Now we have solar powered everything. solar powered iron, solar
Everything,
powered fan,
freezer,
solar powered
everything.
freezer, solar powered air condition, solar powered everything. Because it is a testimony to the fact that the power struggle in this country
Has
has
failed.
collapsed.
Completely.
So it's not like we are embracing green revolution. No, It's not like we are embracing renewable energy by choice. No, our hands are tied.
Completely tied.
So Nigerians are now forced to go and buy solars that they shouldn't be needing in the first place.
You know, as a matter of fact, I'm not even sure we really need Ministry of Power.
What's the ministry doing?
Because what are they doing? You
That's
know,
the question.
Nigerians are asking questions. What is the ministry doing? We can't see what they're doing. We're not feeling the impact. We're not feeling the effects of what they're doing.
Why do
So why are we spending unnecessary money, taxpayers' money, to pay these people?
Then why do houses in the UK install solar when they don't take lights? And I could not provide answer to that question. The person was like, why it later one in the UK install solar and they don't ever take their light? I said, they're making it clear to you that somehow, in case you choose to embrace the renewable energy,
That's
you
right.
have the option. But in case you want to keep your house warm by spending bills on electricity, embrace it. That is an option.
But even the solar, certain bills are paid.
Yes.
And
Yes.
people pay. Do you understand what I'm saying? But maybe not as much as, you know. But what in our case, it's a completely different thing. We have a ministry. They're supposed to be ensuring that Nigerians are, you know, comfortable. They're supposed to be ensuring that the discos supply the energy that we need to understand how to play the game. You don't even understand the rules of the game. So how can you be, act
The
as an
same rule
umpire
that you set.
that you set?
You are telling us that you are helpless in implementing the same rule.
Elections have not even started. We're just simply scratching the surface. It's been on for 2 years. People have been complaining. On this table, we have complained times without number. We're tired. We've put paid to it. You go everywhere. I understand that in the north, in Abuja, in Kaduna, there's nothing else on the billboards. People are wondering whether there are commercial activities going on. People are wondering whether there's still production going on. Whether
Everywhere is
the
campaign.
Cadbury's of this world are still in business. The Indomie, I mean, just to mention a few, big names when it comes to commercial activities.
So,
well, they are wondering whether they're still in business because all the billboards have been
Have you
taken
been to
by
Abu-
campaign,
have you-
and it's just one party.
have you been-
Nobody is
have
questioning.
you
Today
been-
you wake up and
Have you
say,
been to Abuja recently?
I haven't, but
Say, like in the last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 months, months,
ago.
right from the airport
That's what I'm saying.
into the city center.
They say,
into
honestly,
Iba,
people are
into
telling me
every
I have not
corner
been
of
there,
Abuja.
but people tell me that there is absolutely
There's no space for anybody else.
no space for anybody else. And
INEC is coming out to tell us that they're
23rd of
helpless.
July, you're being described as helpless. Whether you said it or that's the way you're being described, it's a shame. I think that right now we don't have a group of people that understand, how to run the elections. And I said it. Okay, I keep saying it. If I'm given a political appointment that will rubbish my name, I will not take it. In fact, forget whether it will or will not rubbish my name. I will not take any political appointment. Don't offer me. Don't give me. Bring it on a platter of gold. You can coat it with some silver. You can add some sapphire to it. Whatever you add. I don't want any political appointment because it's just going to rubbish you. Look at a whole professor. And this is coming from you because we hold the leader accountable. A whole professor who knows his onions, who was well respected up until now. Someone like me would not be talking like this to a man of that, in that status, a man of that stature, if you ask me. But because of the appointment that he's taken, and his hands kind of seem to be tied, and that's where the helplessness comes in. INEC.
Let me read an official
We're not there yet, oh.
timetable released by INEC. Official timetable released by INEC. Let me just pick the part that is very important to this conversation. Presidential and National Assembly elections will now hold on Saturday, 16th of January 2027. Presidential and National Assembly. That's presidential, Senate, and
Senate
reps.
and reps.
Governorship and State House of Assembly will now hold on Saturday, 6th of February, 2027. That's like 3 weeks in between. A lot may have happened within those 3 weeks. So let me tell you this other part. It says that political parties can now conduct their primaries, right, within that same period. And then even more than anything else, INEC said campaigns for presidential and National Assembly will commence on the 19th of August, 2026. That is where the campaign will start officially. According to the guidelines of INEC. And the governorship and assembly campaign will start on the 9th of September. They are not starting the same day. Presidential and National Assembly election is on the 16th of January 2027. But their campaigns will start on the 19th of August 2026. The other election is coming on the 6th of February 2027. And their campaigns will start on the 9th of September. So, today is 23rd of July. Campaign is supposed to start on the 19th of August. That means we have less than a month to official our campaign. But INEC is now coming out to say that. So this is when they just woke up to know that they are helpless. I was in Abuja in April. No. Yes, April. From the airport. I stayed in Kubwa, Army Estate, inside Kubwa. From the airport into where I was going to, there was no PDP or ADC or anything else. Every single corner, from billboards to signposts to traffic lights to street lights to major junctions to branded buses, branded vehicles, branded buildings, every corner is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay, you know what? If Professor Amopitan wants to regain his dignity, right? What I think we should be reading this morning is that INEC is sanctioning
political parties
and
candidates
who and the sanction would attract a fine, and that fine will be backdated to 2 years ago. That's the only way I can say that I will reckon with our prof. But otherwise, this headline is, I must say, to put it very mildly, irritating. And that's putting it extremely mildly. It is very irritating because a man of dignity, a man of integrity should be announcing that INEC is slamming a huge fine on the parties that have flouted the rules. But here we are. We're still dancing around, telling ourselves that we're helpless. I beg, Parkwell, honestly, these people should need to go to sleep. Because the election, so, what are you expecting? From this alone, what are you expecting come election period?
Well,
I'm kind of scared, you know.
It's quite unfortunate.
Because they're not in control. These people are not in control.
There'll be a lot of question around fairness. And even as a build-up to the election, we've already been seeing some of these things. Even in state elections, we are seeing where they'll say that, the state advertising agency is now approving other political parties to erect billboards at certain places. Even in media houses, they are clamped down on media houses that are allowing or airing the political campaigns of oppositions or opponents in state elections. We're seeing what is happening in Osun State. Osun State election is on the 15th of August. There was a reason they moved it from 8th to the 15th. There's a reason where, the National Peace Committee on Election had come out to say that 16 local governments out of 30 local governments in Osun State are red flags ahead of the elections. Killings have been going on in Osun State. That is a state election. The Inspector General of Police was in Osun State 2 weeks ago, and he was telling the governor that, Mr. Governor, I heard that you're harboring in government as criminals that are wanted. Imagine an IG telling a sitting governor that openly. Even if you have that information, you have a commissioner of police on ground that should effect such an arrest. So we have institutions of government that are bending to the whims and the caprices of their dictators. It's tough. So INEC is coming out to tell us that they are helpless now. When campaign is supposed to start less than a month from now. But it's difficult. If you say INEC should sanction candidates or sanction political parties, who pays the piper? The thing will be silenced if you don't play the tune of the piper, of the payee. So the National Assembly that approved the budget of INEC or the presidency that released the budget of INEC, is that the same party that INEC will sanction? So when we come out to question the constitutional provision that allows the president to choose the chairman of INEC in an election he's going to be a part of, in an election that his party is going to be participating in, it is unconstitutional. It is an aberration to what democracy should be about, which is principles of fairness and equality. If the man that is partaking in an election is choosing who will conduct that election, it already... Tell me a single country in the world, Tom, where the president of that country is the one choosing the person that will conduct an election that he is going to be a part of. Show me one country, except an African country.
Let's look at some of our text messages. I'm sure we have a couple of them. Let's quickly run through our WhatsApp messages. Nothing's okay. Okay, I'm sure these messages are from yesterday. Okay, well, okay, they call it the independent. And I don't see anything independent about this one. This one is not independent at all. It is shameful, in my opinion, and we nursed this fear a while ago, and we talked about it. There's no way that any chairman of INEC could stand independent along with his team, because he was put there, by the leader of the country who belongs to a political party. It is wrong. I mean, there's no way it can work. It won't work. And I think these laws should be reviewed. Do you understand? Such that INEC can actually be independent. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just a little piece of what we're likely to see come 2027. It scares me. It makes me jittery, because we really don't know which way it's going to go. So you realize that certain people, certain groups, certain parties have been flouting these rules, and you're saying to us you are helpless. May God help us.
Well, it looks like all of us would have to turn to God for help now.
That's the only thing, because INEC says they are helpless.
And we're also helpless. So all of us should carry our request to God.
Okay, can we go on with the Guardian newspaper?
Yes, please.
Or should we take a water break? We have just about 20 minutes left.
It's okay. If our producers say we should go on a break, who are we not to?
No, let's take a break, because, we should at least wet our throats. So we'll take a water break and then we'll return.
There are stories that make the heart race, where love is born in the most dangerous moments.
Ali was actually Poyraz Ali.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% in year.
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair?
Since your landlord just increased rent, I saved for this one separately on Money Point.
Ma, you say you save on Money Point?
Yes.
This Madam Money Point here, the array of hair dryer there is Target savings Money Points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is Fees savings Money Points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, Money Point save as you transact. Money Point fixed savings and Money Point target savings.
Why did German won't contribute to it? Why should they? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Adaku to save. You see Money Points accounts there. You know go open a savings account. Now Adaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh yeah, bring out your phone and download the Money Points app now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the Money Points app now. Adaku, wow, open Money Points account.
Money Point, made for your progress.
You're welcome back to the Breakfast Express show. We have a caller on the line. Yes, good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is David Babalala. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Okay, you want to go ahead and make your contribution. Oh, we lost him. We lost that call.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still on. Okay,
I'm still home.
okay, please go ahead and make your contribution.
My contribution is about the INEC independence or otherwise. The law that establishes INEC is constitutional. And as long as the constitution provides that the president or the executive
There's absolutely nothing that we can do about it.
shall appoint the head of the commission and subject to the confirmation of the National Assembly. That is enough checks and balance. We are in this country where the last election, the last chairman of INEC was appointed by the then president. Yet he lost the election. So there can't be a perfect environment in anywhere in the world. What we should be doing, I think, is that once that person that is being proposed to be INEC chairman, we check his background and see if he has anything bad in his career or in his whatever. So as far as that's concerned, it's a constitutional issue. And there's nothing you can do until that constitution, that aspect of the constitution is amended. So far.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Well noted, and these are things that we know,
But
and that's why
the constitution of the country is not rigid. It's flexible.
it's flexible. That's why I said, you know,
The Nigerian constitution has been amended several times from 1999 till now. So why can't we amend that section?
and that's why I said we should do a review. You know, we need to because it's not working. You know, it's not working. But he made a valid point that we shouldn't overlook. That, you know, there was once an INEC chairman under a president, you know, who contested for election, and yet he lost. You see, but you see, it's neither here nor there, because, you know, that's a case in isolation.
So, isolation or not,
That's a
that
case
was
in
a
isolation.
case where a
But it
proper
doesn't-
propaganda was sold to the people. The 2015 election was anybody but Jonathan. You and I know. To the point that Abdullah Ganduje told us that if it is only NEPA bill that Buhari has, when they were questioning his certificate, they should bring it. Can you conveniently say that the 8 years of Buhari was a justification for the success of 2015 election? Can we say that?
But he's not going into that. He's saying what he's saying is what is crystal clear to everybody. That there was an INEC in place, there was a president who was running for election, and he didn't get in. He lost, okay? Let's just take it on that surface and not go deeper into it. And let's take that case and compare to what is happening, so that we're not saying that he doesn't have a point, because he does have a point.
He does,
He
sure.
he does have a point, and like we always say, that's his opinion. That's the way he sees it. And yes, he did make a valid point, you know. But the people who are in government now, you know, may not understand what he's talking about, may not understand how this thing should roll. And so we're saying that, you know, it's a dicey thing. It's a very dicey thing. If we're talking about fairness, then that part of the constitution needs to be reviewed. Because in Nigeria, we know that it's a power play thing. It is, you know, I'm in charge here. I'm the one who put you there. I'm the one whose voice you must listen to. I'm the one whose wish must be obeyed. That's the way it is right now. And so we're saying certain people who are credible, Professor Amokwito is a very credible person. I mean, he has absolutely no skeletons in his cupboard. But you see, being in this position,
it questions a lot.
Now, not being able to do the things that you know are fearless and fair is a problem, is a challenge. Because these are the things that are going to be tied to his name at the end of it. So that's why we're calling, for a review, because it's not going to work. It's certainly not going to work. It's not working. So something really should be done about it. We know it's constitutional. We can't wave a magic wand to change the constitution, but we know that we can either amend and we can do a review and amend when necessary. Are we still on the Guardian newspaper?
Yes, we still are.
2.5 hours, 2 newspapers.
Well,
is that what it's coming to now every day?
I think, we asked for it. We wanted the people to be a full part of the conversation.
Okay.
And we're happy that they are responding to what we requested from them. Controversy trails 2026 budget amid palace church allocations and delays. Payroll fraud. Police top list as ICPC.
Are you going to rush over that because we don't have time? Somebody spoke about it, and we said we were going to respond to his call. So let's quickly.
I'm going to dig out numbers. I'm going to dig out numbers on this one, and it will shock you.
Okay, it's fine, because that's why we're here. Let's dig out the numbers. Let's put it on the table. Let them see, let them hear. And then let's take it from there.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. So at the end of the day, one of the most controversial conversations that we're having in this country now is centered around the 2026 budget. And I think one of the things that opened that conversation up was the embattled DG of the PFIPC, how 1.3 billion of his budget got into the appropriation bill that was signed into law and made budget by the president. Then the Almajiri School also came up with the fact that we did not include any money. 22.4 billion was their budget, and out of that 22.4 billion, about 8.6 billion of it was said to be allocated to do road and commission projects in Ekiti, Ogun, and Katsina for Almajiri School. That his sole responsibility is to see to the decrease in the number of out-of-school children that we have in Nigeria. So they also came out and said that we did not put that clause into the conversation. Now, there are concerns about how much money that was captured in the budget to buy equipment, 1 billion, to buy musical instruments for a church in Abia, and another 1 billion to equip a mosque in Zamfara. You know what? One of the things I've always questioned, and this is me holding no bias. If you have personal ambition in life, you want to perform the pilgrimage, you want to have JP behind your name. You want to have JP. You want to be called an Elijah. That is your personal ambition. That should never in any way be sponsored by the government. So when I see government spending billions to sponsor people to Mecca, billions to sponsor people to Jerusalem, I'm always wondering, in whose interest? How does our Commonwealth, why did it get to the point where we now start using it to further the personal ambition of individuals? So if I don't want to go to JP, if I don't want to become a JP, I don't have the right to also share Commonwealth. And that's one of the ways that the government are emboldening people within their space. Did we not hear recently, Tom? Have we heard anything about it? Is the state government not quiet? That criminals, wanted bandits, were arrested when they were returning from Mecca. And the pilgrimage was sponsored by state government. Was that part of the agreement that they will sponsor some of their leaders to the Holy Land? Why are you using state funds to sponsor people for pilgrimage? Why? Why are you spending billions of taxpayers' money to buy instruments in churches? And how do you even select those churches? No, if you look at the United States, for instance, so I was making my research and I found out that the government of US, they don't fund churches. What they do is this. If the church, for instance, want to have like an humanitarian project or a program, maybe they want to distribute food or they want to do all of this, the government will step in and fund that project. The government will not build you church and equip it with musical equipment. In whose glory? Then if you look at that clause in that budget, billions. In fact, according to what is in that budget, over about 16 billion was earmarked to build and renovate 160 palaces across the country. And you say we should not politicize the traditional institution. You think the process upon which our traditional rulers emerge is not politicized? We don't have the Abuja till today. It's over a year that the last one died. Oh, so you think the Ifa has not spoken? You think the Afrobajes have not seen what they should see?
No, I mean, you've said it all. Okay, there's a lot that, and the thing is that what we're saying today on the table, a lot of Nigerians know. So these things are really not hidden from, Nigerians at all. And it is so embarrassing that some people just do what they want, when they want, and how they want. No checks and balances, no accountability whatsoever, no transparency. Nobody cares because the people on the other side of the divide don't matter. The people on the other side of the divide are helpless. They can't do anything. But guess what? You see this thing they call power. It's just for a moment. It's so momentary. It's so, it's for a little time. You may think it's such a long time. But let's give you, examples who are still living. One-time president, head of state, Ibrahim Babangida. He was a man of stature. He was a man of boldness. He was a man who called the shots. He was a man who spoke a word, and it had to be so. That was years ago. Where is he today?
He can barely stand to walk alone.
And I pray that God grants him peace in his body, in his soul, and in his spirit while he lives. But where am I going? That all of this looks so big and so long, but it's going to end up as a tiny dot. It will be once upon a time.
Where is El-Rufai today?
Exactly. What we must do is remember that posterity will judge us.
Let me read that provision of the Constitution. The 2026 budget, the same one that we are debating. According to Tracker, Tracker is an initiative of Budget. Budget Foundation is one of the most independent, follow the money organization that we have. They trace budgets approved and monies released. Let me read this part. The proposed 2026 budget had drawn criticism from the public from the accountability group Tracker that disclosed that 8.5 billion was earmarked for construction, renovation, and equipping of churches and mosques. In that same project, it also said, among the projects identified is 1 billion for musical and cultural equipment for churches in Abia, and another 1 billion for solar power installation at mosque in Zamfara North. It's captured in that same budget. Do you understand? So, and then we're having a budget that we have 31.4 trillion budget deficit on that same budget. But we are spending that huge amount of money to facilitate and buy musical equipment for churches, carpets for imam residencies, and facilities for Islamia schools. That's what we are making provision for. It also said that it also uncovered that 1.9 billion was allocated for 7 church-related projects and 6.1 billion for 52 mosque projects across several ministries and agencies without direct responsibility for religious affairs.
Okay, so
those agencies are not even supposed to be involved in religious affairs, but they've got to put in those clauses. When Senator Ningi from Bauchi was suspended a couple of years back on the allegation that their budget padding, you think the man does not know what he's saying, Tom? You think he does not know what he's saying? Do you understand? 6.1 billion to buy musical equipment for churches and renovate mosques in Zamfara North and in Abia State. You are buying cultural and musical instruments for churches in a country where we are running almost 50% of our budget on deficit.
Okay,
this is 2027.
We don't have
Senator
time.
Adamu Alero, I come out to say that we've not started implementing the 2027 budget. This is July 23rd.
Well, all of these things can happen again because the system allows it to happen. Now, it's taking how long for this to come to the open? And guess what? It's come to the open. It's not as if anybody will do anything about it. Listen, we may make a lot of noise. As much noise as we want to make, we will make. But guess what? At the end of the day, what will the outcome be? Who's going to be punished for what? That's what we want to see. so that we can tell the people that, listen, in this particular case, certain things were done. This was done, that was done, and the outcome was so and so. I don't know what's happening, Odi. What's going on? You know, so these are the things that we need to be looking at. Nigerians decide, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and decide, you know, I want to spend this amount of money because I want to be recognized, because I want
somebody's going to ask me questions.
You're sponsoring people to Jerusalem, you're sponsoring people to Saudi Arabia, you know, you're sponsoring Nigerians. Okay, we don't have a problem with that. You can continue to do so, but you know what? You need to have a database of all the names of the citizens in Nigeria. So when you do this list this time, you take another list and do for the next set of people, everybody will have a turn. That's the way it's supposed to be. Because like if we say, they say all fingers are equal, some are more equal than the others. Why are we doing this classism thing? It's unfortunate. We're all Nigerians. And the funny part is that the people who do not work for this money are the people who are benefiting from our commonwealth. And we spend our lives struggling, working so hard, and we're the ones who are relegated to the background. I think something needs to be done. You need to check yourselves at the top. You need to check yourselves completely, seriously. And it would be a nice thing to know that the outcome of this was that certain people, you know, got penalized in whatever way. You know, we can't just be talking about this. Everyone is on the lips of everybody. As Collab made this same, you know, he brought it up. And if nothing is done about it, it will be quite embarrassing. But you see, sometimes I'm exhausted from within because I really don't know what to say. I sound to myself like a broken record. When I speak today, it's like I said the same thing yesterday and the day before, the month before, the year before. I don't know what else to say. I can only say what I can say at the moment, you know. First of all, these things should stop. Stop dipping your hands into our commonwealth. People who have done these things should be brought to book, face the full wrath of the law, be punished, and let Nigerians see and feel more comfortable that at least, you know, something is being done. I think it's getting too much. Nigerians are tired. Look, we don't want a revolution in this country. Okpa keeps saying it, that if we ever have a revolution in this country, Nigeria may never come up. Rwanda went to total ruins. But guess what? They're back. A couple of countries have gone through that, but they're back. Ghana at one time went through its own challenges, but they're back.
We had the uprising in Egypt, to Libya, to Tunisia.
So many countries. But I don't know what it's going to be like if Nigeria ever has a revolution. We don't want to get to that point. So, I mean, we should just start behaving ourselves at whatever level, whether the leadership or the followership, I don't understand. We need to just get it going. Nigerians are tired, completely tired, fed up of the way our leaders, and, you know, apologies to, what's his name, Mr. Lanre, was it Mr. Lanre Waju that made that contribution? Apologies, Mr. Lanre Waju. There's a lot of rot also within the leadership space. So we must speak about these things. We must talk about these things. Look at what is happening. How will we ever be happy? And if these monies were channeled to, you know, doing something beneficial to the people, subsidizing farming, subsidizing, you know, a lot of things, food for the citizens, we probably won't be complaining. But we're complaining because we're going through so much hardship and we're seeing these figures on a daily basis. And we read this today, it may not come up tomorrow, and that may just be the end of it. So, we need to address these things. It's unfortunate and it's very shameful. Nigeria, we need to wake up from our slumber. INEC is telling us that they're helpless. Very annoying, irritating, and depressing. We keep doing this work every day. If you can't do the thing, throw in the towel, resign, and say you can't do it. How can you be overwhelmed when that's what you've been called to do? You've not even started, and you're overwhelmed already. You're helpless.
Well, so for the clear context, we're not saying people should not, government should not do religious hours ever. What we're saying is this, that what that means is that you have to,
what we are saying is that they should stop dipping their hands into our commonwealth. They should stop spending the money like they were the ones who worked for the money. They should stop spending the money with reckless abandon. That's what we're saying. We're actually calling on the government to stop. Because Nigerians are seeing these figures on a daily basis. We're hearing these things. And we're seeing the things that you're doing. And we're not happy. We're not pleased. We're saying, please stop. Because we also need these monies. I mean, if you use these monies to... Look, this burger axis, burgers to... what do you call it? Isashi. Or is horrible. Ojodu Burger Road is finished. It's gone. And people ply these roads every day. Many more roads.
Taxpayers, they ply that road every day.
Every day.
And they're suffering.
They're suffering.
Their cars are
and they're working
it.
for the money. We take our cars to the mechanic almost on a daily basis. And then we see these figures and you say we should be smiling. We're not smiling. It's not funny. Nigerians are complaining. And we're saying somebody should look into this thing. Because we're tired, actually.
We have to go.
We have to go. It's time to round up.
It's funny. We're done 2 hours straight.
Yeah, we in past couple of days, it's been a lot because we've been getting a lot of calls. And we appreciate it. We're thankful because you're part of, we're able to hear from you. Like what we wouldn't have gone in depth in this if not for
to respond
to a call, somebody's concerns. And for us, that gives us total satisfaction. Today, if I walk out of the studio, I know that I'm satisfied that I have, done the bit I can, to contribute my quota, to the development of Nigeria. It's been so much pleasure being here, taking your calls, giving you the facts, presenting the facts to you as they have been presented to us through the newspapers. And of course, I would do this over and over again if I had to. And so, I'd like to say that we're rounding up today, but with a promise that by the grace of God, we will return tomorrow to give you the latest news. Okwe, you want to say a goodbye?
Thank you very much. The presidential election is 177 days away today. And I'm sure you know how to do the right things and get yourself ready so that your decisions will be made from the point of the proper information. And that's what we provide on this platform. We don't tell you who to vote for, but we guide you into making the right voting decisions. My name is Okpeyemi Akende. God willing, bright and early, this show should return tomorrow. And I'll be back by God's grace. Thank you. Have a beautiful Thursday and bye for now.
My name is Tom Aderele, and I'm going to re-emphasize this time that you should stand in front of the mirror, take a look at yourself. And when I say stand in front of the mirror, I'm not just saying it, because you want to go and see how handsome or how beautiful you are. No. Stand in front of the mirror. You can see that I'm not smiling. I'm saying stand in front of the mirror, take a look at yourself. Those things that you think are excesses, those things that you should be doing that you're not doing. Please make a change. The world needs the better part of you to contribute, to the world being a better place. On that note, I'd like to say thank you for watching the show. I remain Tom Aderele, and I'm looking forward to being with you again tomorrow. Have yourselves a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye-bye.